Vinny Tortorich here. Hey man, if you're a fan of Izzy, you might be a fan of me too. I'm the guy that gets people to lose a lot of weight. I have something free for you guys. This is no clickbait. Just go to VinnyTortorich.com and there's a big banner. It's a free PDF, how to lose weight. It's an intro guide to NSNG at VinnyTortorich.com. Go check it out exclusively for anyone who listens to Izzy Presley. Thank you.
Replay Guitar Exchange is your premier independent guitar store. Being independent is good. With all of the major brands, including new, vintage, and pre-owned, you can find the guitar, bass, amp, or accessory you are dreaming of. From vintage to the newest models, Replay Guitar Exchange can help you find that perfect piece. They have industry veteran expert staff, all players like you down to the owner. You aren't just getting a great guitar, you're getting the Replay difference. Find them online at replayguitar.com and find your dream guitar today.
Hey ladies, Sass Pants Designs will take that rock shirt that everyone has and make it your own in a flattering, sassy, and simple way. There are one-of-a-kind tank tops, lace-up tees, and tube top dresses already in stock. Check out the online store at sasspantsdesigns.com and like Sass Pants Designs on Facebook for special offers and custom orders. That's sasspantsdesigns.com, sasspantsdesigns.com. Sass Pants will make you the envy of the party.
RockstarLeatherworks.com is your home for badass rock and roll gear. Featuring 100% handmade leather bands, watches, cuffs, bracelets, and more, Rockstar Leatherworks has something for everybody. Whether you are going to the show or you are in it, you can find something to fit your needs. Choose from a variety of designs or create your own masterpiece. Their bands and watches are second to none. They also ship internationally. Who needs a stage to be a rock star? Check out RockstarLeatherworks.com.
Would I listen to Izzy Presley? Ooh, not if he was the last disc jockey on earth, honey.
The unscripted, uncensored, loose cannon of commentary.
Why did you say that? Why? What? You come out with stink like that? Poop. Your poop mouth. You have poop out of your mouth.
See, son? Old legends never die. They just lose weight.
Like a legend and an out-of-work bum look a lot alike, Daddy.
I've got a midget friend, an albino friend, and another friend who thinks Lord of the Rings is real. Together we call ourselves the Unfuckables.
Quinton is in. Let the fun begin.
Party time.
God, you an asshole, man.
And now it's time for the...
Hi, this is Bobby Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
You kids with your loud music and your Dan Fogelberg, your Zima, hula hoops, and Pac-Man video games, don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
See, son? Old legends never die. They just lose weight.
Like a legend and an out-of-work bum look a lot alike.
Hello, you crazy dead fuckers!
Party time!
Yes, it is party time. Hello, Hollywood. Hello, world. And hello, my loyal minions. I hit the wrong fucking intro. That was the intro for the Izzy Presley show, and I caught myself right after I started it. Oops! Well, shit happens. You make mistakes, but that's okay. We are a couple minutes late, but that's my fault because I got a nap in. And not because I was drunk, but oh well, what can you do? We can fix that as we speak. I got myself a cold Steve Weiser light and ready to have some fun. On the blower, we'll get to him in just a second. One of my favorite hosers from the Killer Dwarfs, Gerry Dwarf, is waiting patiently on the line to get at me and make fun of me. But that's what we do here. What can I say? Make sure you hit up all the social media at Real Izzy Presley all the way across the board. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And of course, the show page is Another Effin' Podcast. Great show last week with CJ Snare of the Firehouse. A lot of fun. Make sure you guys go back and check that out. T-shirts are still available from the Cruiser Jam. Doing another run to the post office tomorrow. So if you want those, go to the show page and it is pinned to the top, the eBay link. Go ahead, get yourself one, and we will have you sporting my shirt, and I'll send you some pics and kind of all that kind of good stuff. Wow, we got a quasi-hoser in the room already. I like this. Jenna, welcome. Well, fuck it. Bring them on right now. But before we go, if you guys want to support the show and you don't want my horseshit shirts, you can just send me money. izzypresley@yahoo.com is your PayPal. Ladies and gentlemen, we just got off a boat together just a couple months ago, and he is up in Toronto, and he is the guitar player for the Killer Dwarfs. Please welcome Gerry Dwarf to another fucking podcast. Go Raptors. Are they even still a team?
Oh, come on. Really?
Honestly, that's how disconnected I am from the NBA.
We're going to win it all this year, is he?
Are you?
No, I think so. Yeah, looks like it.
Wait, you guys watch more than just hockey up there?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, totally. Hey, listen, when you said you send pics with those shirts, do you mean pictures or guitar pics?
Guitar pics. Actually, there's a sticker on there as well. I have a stack of stickers from an old radio show I used to do called Under the Covers with Izzy Presley. And I got to get rid of them. So why not say a little thank you and sign that sumbitch for no good reason and include it with the T-shirt. So there you go.
I was concerned that they were pictures and the content, knowing you. There's a mankini possibilities,
or just a big thick cock,
or that also, yeah. Whose
exactly. That would be mine. I wouldn't. I don't have to send a Ron Jeremy or a John Holmes. I don't need to do that because I'm told I'm rather well endowed. And I take that as a compliment every time that I hear it.
It's warm in Los Angeles. It might be a tribute. You can
it is.
To
well,
that to some degree.
Actually, Gerry, I did find something out, and this comes from a black gal that I drove while I was driving Lyft. Being a ginger, I found out that she said, well, I don't mean to be a racist. I'm like, you can say whatever you want in this car. I don't care. And she goes, I heard that there's a scientific study that says gingers, pardon me,
yep.
Gingers have the same bone structure as black people. And I thought, well, I don't have to thank my Jamaican stepdad for my cock anymore.
Yeah, that's been on my mind too. I'm glad you got that sorted out.
Oh, yeah, my cock has been on your mind. I appreciate that.
Well, and your relationship with your stepdad and all of those things.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, I love my stepdad to death. I love my mom to death. What can I say? So what are you up to tonight, buddy? What's going on up there in old Canada?
Well, what am I up to? It's getting warm up here, finally. My grass is green. The trees don't have leaves yet. You live in Los Angeles, Izzy, so it's a different world, right? You're from the Midwest.
I shave my grass.
It may,
oh, there you go. Oh, you weren't talking about pubes. Okay.
Oh, God.
But yes, I am from the
go.
Midwest. Oh, that is worth a Pat Fontaine laugh. Let me get to that. Oh, yeah, there we go. Let's talk about you a little bit. I mean,
sure.
we've hung out, we've gotten hammered, we've done stuff. But I don't really know a lot about Mr. Gerry Finn / Gerry Dwarf. Are you original Canadian? I know you spent a lot of time out here on the Strip.
Yeah, I'm from Newfoundland, which is part of Canada, and but I did live in Los Angeles, Izzy. Yeah, I lived in LA in the mid '90s, and I loved it there. We played at the Whiskey a few years ago, and I hadn't been back in a while. And as soon as I get into that environment, and the sunsets are so beautiful. It really is an amazing place. I love it there.
It is. I mean, we got everything you could ever possibly want here. I mean, we got the beaches, the palm trees, the weather, the food. We got the valleys, we got the mountains / hills, whatever the hell you want to call them. Vegas is only 4 hours away. We have a great homeless population. It's really amazing.
I agree. I mean, I went skiing one day and I went to the beach later that same day. So, you got all that going on. It's beautiful. I love it.
So Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. Close. It rhymes with understand.
I don't understand a lot of Newfoundland.
God. Yeah, didn't we go through this for many? I think we spent 12 hours doing this one night.
Yeah, but I think there was some substances that made us stay up for 12 hours. That, of course, would have been Monster Energy drinks, of course.
Right, our sponsor.
Yes, our sponsor. I need to get on that sponsorship list. That would be amazing.
Yeah, it's all around us. Hey, everybody's doing that.
Mailbox money? I can't
love
even imagine that. So you grow up there, Newfoundland.
Mm-hmm.
Newfoundland. Whatever the fuck. I understand Newfoundland.
Oh, you're getting really close.
I understand
really
Newfoundland.
Close, dude.
When do you start playing guitar?
I started playing guitar when I was a kid. I was like 11, I think. And I was just sort of drawn to it. I took classical guitar lessons as a kid. I got into jazz, and I went to university and studied jazz guitar for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And, but, I just wanted to be a good rock guitar player.
Right. So you studied jazz guitar. So unlike me, you can count past Peter Criss.
Yeah, I guess so. And not to take anything away from Peter Criss.
No, not at all.
And I'm sure he counts just fine. Yeah. So I think I did all that just to try to inform my rock playing. Although I very rarely get to play jazz music. I think it was the drummer in Paul McCartney's band that said jazz music is being played in arenas all over the world still today at sound check. So
that sounds about right. Well, I mean, the one soundtrack record that I always remember hearing, every club that I went to, and it didn't matter the sound guy. The one CD that they used for sound check was Steely Dan.
Oh, so great, right?
Right. Did you ever? I mean, you said you don't really play jazz guitar that much. I mean, have you ever thought about just putting out an acoustic jazz record or some kind of something jazz related?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I practice it every day, and it's a great vehicle for me to try to become a better musician. And it's a challenge, and I mean, it's a good. Would I put out a jazz record? I don't think so.
Why not?
No. I don't know. Good question. Maybe
you could do it.
Thanks, buddy.
I have faith in you.
If I had enough Monster Energy drink, I think I could do it.
Oh, we can work on that this summer.
Yeah.
Somebody I can't remember who the fuck said it, but they said, don't learn the pentatonic scale because you'll never learn another scale if you do. Was that the first scale you learned?
Probably, but it's also one that you can apply into all kinds of more complex harmonic situations. So, yeah, it's not that simple. I don't know how to explain that really.
I just know the Ace Frehley riffs.
Well, that's a great place to start, and I know you love Ace, and so do I. That's one of the things you and I definitely have in common, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And you met Ace recently, so can we? I'm just curious. So, how was it? Was it like a religious experience, or was it like an audience with the Pope for you?
It was cathartic. It was mind blowing. It was over faster than the first time I had sex.
Right.
But it was exactly what I wanted it to be.
Okay.
It was a handshake. It was a picture. It was a hello and a thank you. And that was it. There wasn't any of that, getting stuck in the room with somebody. Then all of a sudden they turn out to be a complete dickwad, and that ruins every single, thing you ever thought about your hero. There was none of that, because I guess it's different, when you're friends with his band and his tour handler. And, so they can say, hey, he's not a douche, man. Just be yourself,
Yeah, it is surreal that you and I are friends with the guys that play with him. Isn't it strange?
Oh,
who would have thought?
And Gene Simmons.
1979.
And Gene Simmons. It's insane.
Yeah, it's so cool. I love those guys.
What was your first guitar?
My first electric guitar was an L. Degas Telecaster copy. It was yellow. And, yeah.
How long did you have it?
I wish I still had it. I remember... I don't know. I might have had I can't remember where it went. Isn't that weird? I got it at about 10, 11. I can't remember, something like that. And I decided to refinish it. So I sanded all the lacquer off it. The yellow, which of course hadn't never crossed my mind. I could simply spray paint over that.
Right.
And then, my family didn't know, but I hung up a bunch of garbage bags in the furnace room of our house.
Oh, boy.
And I had a spray paint can next to the furnace, right?
Oh, boy.
And I spray painted the guitar. And, of course, and you'll appreciate this, everybody's skates, everything got painted.
Oh,
bright
wow.
blue, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, turns out you don't have to take the finish off. You can paint over it. Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
only known.
Did your skates too? Did you play hockey growing up?
I did a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. You have, you have to.
Yeah, it's in the blood.
Yeah. Well, you're from the Midwest, right?
Yeah.
Where are you from? Yeah.
I'm from a town called St. Cloud, which is just like 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic, northwest of Minneapolis. So,
yeah, so you're in hockey territory.
Yeah, I just say we're Southern Canada.
Totally. Yeah, of course.
You know, I've trained myself to say hockey and offense. You know, did I just see something recently? I think I just saw an article about you. Was it playing the mandolin or playing another stringed instrument? I didn't have that.
Oh, well, I have. I mean, I've done those things, certainly, yeah. I had a really bizarre experience where I was asked to play mandolin at an award show. And I just said yes, of course. And I don't really play one, so I rented one and kind of learned the parts. And I'm looking at it. Brian Adams is sitting in the front row right in front of me. But, sometimes you just have to say yes and then figure out how to do it. I think that's a process that's worked well for me,
Brian Adams, the Canadian icon.
He is more than that. He's a global icon.
Oh, I agree. It's funny. People shit on him, but it's like, why? I mean,
God, the songs they're so good, and his voice is so good still. And I'm a huge fan.
The first time I saw Brian Adams live, I was writing for this magazine back home, and it was called RX Magazine. And I got an invite from his publicist, and they're like, we don't even want you to review the show. Just come down and watch the show. They hooked me up. I had like fourth row center, and I was there with my now ex, but at the time my girlfriend, and it was just him and a guitar and occasionally somebody on piano. It was just so fucking stripped down, and he was amazing. And I remember he came up to the mic. He goes, "Do I have any requests?" And I, of course, being the dick that I am, yelled, "Kids Want to Rock."
Yeah.
And he goes, wait. Who said that? And I raised my hand, and he goes, "You? Kids Want to Rock on an acoustic."
Come on.
And he kind of backs up, and he kind of cracks his knuckles and flips his fingers around. Then he played it. It was awesome.
That is incredible. I love that story.
And then the next time I saw him acoustic, I was up in the rafters, and when he asked if there's any requests, I yelled "War Machine" because he co-wrote War Machine, and he goes, "There's always got to be one."
All roads lead to Kiss, Izzy.
That's right. Was Ace your first guitar hero?
He was. I think even before, it's funny, I just had this conversation with somebody, and I was trying to remember. I think I was an Ace fan before I played guitar. So when I was like 9, I was Ace for Halloween every year. And I have a really clear memory of it was snowing on Halloween. You can appreciate this, right?
Yep.
You know where I lived.
Yep.
and being in my mom's boots, her platform boots,
Yep.
and trying to walk up a driveway. It was so slippery. And of course, I've got my homemade Ace costume on, but my winter coat on over it. Right?
Of course.
And I'm holding on to a car, trying to walk up this slushy. So Ace was a part of my, when I was a kid, Ace really to me was like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be both of them as a 9-year-old. And, I just never pursued the superhero line of work.
Yeah. Well, you are a superhero. You're a dwarf, goddammit.
I am, proudly.
So, what ended up bringing you out to Los Angeles? Was it the dream, or what was it?
Well, it was a few things. The first time I went out to Los Angeles was the first time I made a record with the Killer Dwarfs.
Okay.
And that was in 91 maybe. And it was incredible, man. It was everything you can imagine. And Andy Johns produced our record. We recorded it at Leon Russell's house.
Oh, wow.
And, we were hanging out at the Rainbow, and I was meeting, Lemmy and Scott Baio, and John Russell.
Scott Baio?
At the same table, at the same time, right?
Of course.
It's like, I can't believe I'm having a conversation with Ron Jeremy and John Russell. And,
right.
But it became really normal, so we were there for a long time making that record. Nicky Hopkins came and played piano on the record. And for anybody, that would be amazing, and it certainly was for me. I was looking at it's funny now in retrospect, Andy Johns at the time was probably 40, and he just seemed ancient, and he had worked with Led Zeppelin, and isn't that something? He was quite a talent and a great friend, and we really miss. He's been gone 6 years, so we really miss his presence.
Dick Chasen chiming in the chat room saying Scott Baio is a legend. And
that.
Jenna,
baby.
Jenna says quasi-hoser Canadian by injection. What kind of injection are you talking about, Jenna? Are you talking about the hot beef injection? Let's see. Amber says, glad to hear. I've always heard rumors about Ace not always being nice. Never believed it. Well, I mean, look, everybody has their moments. I'm sure there's some people that say, God damn it, those dwarfs are dicks to me. I don't believe that, but well, Gerry, let's back up for a second here, because
sure.
I memean, you're not the original guitar player for the Dwarfs.
Correct.
How do you get the gig?
So in 1990, they swapped. They were the guitar player left, and they were looking for a guy, and they kept it kind of quiet. I guess they didn't want the band to seem unstable, So it wasn't like a big cattle call, and you sort of had to be connected. And a guy I grew up with in Newfoundland, you would understand, Anthony Pitcher. Yeah. He was actually at the time an assistant for the band's agent, a guy named Dave Kirby. And Dave went on to work with lots of bands like Creed, and he built this huge agency out of Long Beach, actually, I think. And anyway, so I got an audition, and they auditioned a group of guys, and they were flying guys in from around the world, and it came down actually to myself and the guy who is now in Bon Jovi. So
Phil X.
I showed him.
Wait, whoa, time out. Phil X was almost a dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit!
Well, it came down to myself and Phil, and I know Phil is such a great musician.
Oh, dude, he's amazing. Yeah.
And the gig at the time was a really great gig, and so Phil was certainly the guy you'd want. And so I thought for sure when he was lined up for the gig that I wouldn't get it, but it was something about some of the subtleties about chemistry, and that you have to live with these people, right?
Right.
So there were some things like that, I suppose, at play, but I'm a huge fan of Phil's, and I love his playing.
Yeah, dude, that guy's fucking amazing. So you get the gig. How was that feeling?
Oh, it was great. It was amazing. Yeah, it was like a dream come true, because the band was living in Toronto at the time. The band was signed to an American record deal, and so living in Canada, and probably the world outside of America, all you want to do is get into America, because that is where rock and roll lives.
Right.
And so it was an opportunity to do that, So I couldn't. It was like winning the lottery. I couldn't believe I pulled it off.
Right. So, but you were a big fan of the band before you had the opportunity.
Yeah, the band was really big, up here, and I'd never seen the band. The first time I saw the band was the first show we did.
Oh, wow.
And, Russ, our singer, right, is a very dynamic performer around stage.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as we start, he's gone. And I'm like, where'd he go? And he's out into the crowd, and he's, the things that he found funny at the time, and if they're still kind of funny, was he'd go up to the sound guy and pull the mains down on the board. So Jesus would shut up and then run away, right? And then we would laugh at watching these guys try to get the PA going again, right? I mean, you want to talk about self-destructive, self-defeating jokes, but that's kind of stuff that, the band kind of still does those things.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a fun time watching the Dwarfs, and I've only seen the Dwarfs on the Monsters of Rock cruise.
Oh, isn't that funny? Hey, yeah, we love doing that cruise. Isn't it great? Well, that's where you and I met.
Yeah.
What a great sort of the camaraderie between bands, and including you and I, and it's really something, eh? Like you get to hang out with Richie Kotzen, for example.
I know.
You've got that great Richie Kotzen guitar now, right? Which I love. I got to play it on the last cruise for a little bit with your Cruiser Jam, and it's really something to be rubbing up against those people.
Did I tell you what happened when I was watching him during the one show I got to catch of him?
Can I guess?
Well, there were tears. There were definitely tears. But I'm standing up there, and I'm just in awe because it's Kotzen, right?
He's
and
incredible.
All of a sudden, somebody grabs my hand and starts holding my hand. I'm like, oh, I got a gal. I look over. It's my buddy Brian, who I do karaoke with. And we just kind of look at each other, and we're both in tears.
That's great.
And it's like a couple guys holding hands and crying, watching Richie Kotzen. Not the most straightest moment of my life, but
and then Nuno walks up.
And then Nuno walks
cue
up.
the wah-wah guitar.
I got this great picture of myself and Richie and Nuno at the that little social thing that we do at the end of the cruise where it's all the artists, you know. And
I do know, yep.
And the the caption was, "This is me learning about guitars and abs."
Oh, they're a bit fit, those guys, aren't they?
They are, well, especially. I mean, Nuno is a freaking.
Yeah.
He's a machine.
Yeah, he's like somebody frozen in time. I had the most surreal experience on the cruise a few years ago. Michael Wagner, record producer extraordinaire, and I are friendly, and we've been buddies for a long time. And Extreme played their Porno Graffiti record front to back in the theater. This was, I forget how long ago. And so I was sitting next to Michael watching the record that he produced being performed in sequence. And so he kept elbowing me going, "That's Pat Travers on the pre-chorus," right? Or that was, telling me what mics he was using. It was like that, VH1, the classic albums show, but like in real time. It was, bizarre, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not Johnny from Sheboygan. It's Michael fucking Wagner.
Right. And he's the sweetest guy and, a complete master. I mean, I think that Monsters of Rock cruise world, to some degree can be credited to the work that Michael Wagner's done. I don't know if that would have become such a big style of music.
Well, think about all those bands on that cruise that he's produced. No,
seriously. Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, I can't name them off the top of my head. That would take a Google machine thing, but I'm a little too lazy to do that. But it happens. But man, you got to play during the Cruiser Jam. Finally, it was fucking great to have you. It was
it was not fun.
And we were supposed to actually play together, but you weren't there right away. And so I had Brandon from Black and Blue doing your part.
Guy.
Yeah, that guy. So you jump up and you take my guitar, which is fine. I mean, whatever, because I was fucking it up anyways. But you and Brandon were playing the same parts instead of switching off like me and you were supposed to do. But who cares, man? It's a jam.
We do what we can, man.
Exactly, man. But it's God.
I love
Oh, I do too. It's so cool to be able to do that, and especially for you guys to be able to get up there and jam with the cruisers,
No, it's fun, right? And you can see the cruisers seem to really enjoy it. I love that. That's one of the components of the cruise. I think it's really great that people get that. There's that kind of interaction. I think that's a part of what makes that cruise so special,
I know, and the 10th one is coming up, and I know if you guys are on it, you can't say it because you have not been announced yet. So I'm crossing my fingers that you hosers are going to be on there. It would be awesome to be drunk on the pool deck again and jam again.
Again.
I mean, I think we are still drunk on the pool deck.
It's so fun, isn't it?
Right. So let's talk about your time out here in Los Angeles. I mean, you were out here for a few years, though, weren't you?
Yeah. So, my first time really was there making a record. I moved to Los Angeles in the mid-'90s and lived there for about 4 years. And, it was amazing, man. I became friends with... Oh, Jesus. Russ Parrish. Russ, who plays with Steel Panther.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Russ was playing in a disco band. And so I became Russ's sub, so I was subbing into this disco band. Like Afro Wigs, that kind of stuff, right? We're playing Casey and the Sunshine Band. And just, just an aside to Russ, what an incredible musician this guy is, right? So, through the jigs and the reels, that's something we say in Newfoundland, by the way. I ended up in a disco band. It was myself and Ray Luzier, and Ralph Saenz was the singer. Ralph is now, of course, the singer in Steel Panther. And
Michael Starr,
and Ricky Walking, who is this complete virtuoso bass player, originally from I think Fayetteville or something, but he lives in Dallas, and. It's funny now to look back, of course, Ralph and I have some contact, but Ray and I are very close friends still. And who's one of the best drummers on the planet, of course.
Oh
right?
yeah,
But
he's fucking amazing.
He was then too, But I mean, my experience with Ray is, loading our gear in through the kitchen and having the cooks curse at us. Right.
right.
And
hey, this is not good, fellas. What do you do?
He's playing the Enormo Dome, as I always joke, right? And he used to have the smallest drum kit you'd ever seen. I think the rack tom was screwed into the bass drum. And
Jesus.
There was no ride cymbal. He could carry the whole thing in one hand. And now he has the biggest drum kit. It's almost like, it's the Costanza of drum kits.
Right. Well, you know why? Because he doesn't have to set it up and carry it around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. But you know what? He would, though. He would.
So just to give you guys out there an idea, if you don't know a lot of these names, you have two of the guys from Steel Panther, which are doing huge business right now. The drummer from Korn and the guitar player from the Killer Dwarfs playing in a disco band.
Yeah, we used to play at FM station every week. We used to play at Billboard Live. We had a lot of weekly gigs that we would do, and it was amazing, and Steven Adler would come out, and Tracy Guns would come out, and all these great musicians, and, they'd get Bobby Blotzer would come up and play drums, and it was a very cool time. It was a weird time for heavy metal music.
Yeah.
In the mid-90s, right? Because everything was a very grungy kind of time, Pearl Jam kind of environment. But all those guys were around, and it was just great to play with those great players, and it was nothing but wonderful memories.
So, were the Dwarfs on a hiatus at this time?
Yeah. Things, sort of into the mid to late 90s, things kind of tapered off because the market changed, and the music, it's so funny, is because we would never associate ourselves with a hair metal genre music. But I don't think anybody who is would ever admit to it. But if you see a picture of us from 1990, the word "hair" has to be in the description of what we did, right? But anyways, all that music kind of disappeared for a while. And so the bands kind of, faded away, including the Dwarfs. There was a reunion that the band did in around 2000, 2001 that I wasn't a part of.
Who was it? Was it the original guitar player?
It was not. It was Mike Hall, the guy who preceded me in the band.
Oh, okay.
But we got the band back together about 6 or 7 years ago, and you would like this story. Russ and Daryl, the drummer and singer in the Killer Dwarfs, and I hadn't been in the same room for a long time. And Rob Zach is there, in fact, who's our manager and our guy. And,
yeah.
He was actually very instrumental in making this all happen. So we met at a pub down the street from my house, and it was really about, do we like to be in the same space together? Is there any chemistry anymore? And as soon as I saw those guys, I'm like, of course, I love these men, and after all we had been through. So we're hanging out, and we're having a couple of beers, and there's a couple more beers, and there's an old guy standing at the bar, and he must be seriously 102 if he's 10, with one tooth. And we're noticing him, and he comes over to us, and he says, very, very kindly, he says, would you guys like a picture of something's happening here? Would you like it captured? And we're like, you know what? This would be a really cool thing to have a photo of.
Yeah.
Our reunion moment. So he took Russ's phone and he fired off like 10 shots, but the camera was reversed, right? So the pictures, no, I'm not kidding. So the pictures are his tooth, right? And his nose, right? And so we're holding on. I'm not kidding. So that's the documentation of the Dwarfs reunion. And, we're going to use those for an album cover or something.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, God.
I want to take your picture. You're lying through your tooth.
Right. I'm not kidding. When you see these pictures, that's exactly what it is. He's sort of like anyway.
Oh, that may be one of the most amazing stories I've ever heard. That is glorious. Oh, April Lee is in the house. Jacobus is in the house as well. You guys just missed it. We were just talking about the cruise and how great you two are, and an amazing job that you both do on the cruises.
We were.
Yeah, we were.
I heard Jeff gets into trouble on the underbelly of the boat sometimes.
Well,
with graffiti and things.
Well, he thinks that's where the jack-off corner is. And he goes down there and strokes his meat about 40 times a day. And, where is he? He's on a run. Oh, no, he's just jerking off.
I think that's what actually powers the ship, Izzy.
This is true. Jacobus has come.
It's Jeff masturbating. Yeah.
Jeff masturbating, and when he explodes, that's that's when they kick down the overdrive, and we really start moving. What? How did you see the strip change as you were out here?
Well, as you know, right, there's some perennial, like Lemmy was such a presence. There was that kind of like the rainbow. Even now when I go back, that seems to be somewhat intact.
Yeah.
But, there seems to be a gentrification of the Sunset Strip now where the clubs are disappearing and there's apartment buildings. I can see it changing.
Yeah,
Every city
absolutely.
does that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But, I mean, the Rainbow's not going anywhere. The Whiskey's not going anywhere. Viper Room is closing, but they're putting up a hotel, and they're going to open the Viper Room inside of the hotel, but it's not going to be the same.
I used to go there. It was called the Central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before Johnny Depp owned it, correct?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, I remember going in there and hanging out with the guys from Thunder and jamming with Mark Torn and those guys. It was a cool spot. Yeah.
I made this statement, and tell me if you agree with this or not. But I say
I totally disagree.
You don't. I say Tammy Down from Faster Pussycat is the Lemmy of the quote unquote hair metal scene.
Yeah, I love that band, man. I mean, that's a band that to me that really reeks of integrity. They're the band that I most enjoy watching, and I love all the bands. But I hate to pick a favorite, but aren't they great?
Oh,
there's something about what
there's a vibe. There's
there
a
really
complete
is,
vibe.
The guys in the band are perfect. Ace is such a good fit, and Danny.
Yep.
I mean, these guys should be a reality TV show or something. I can't believe they're actually a band.
My God, Chad was actually filmed an entire season of a reality TV show with somebody.
I'm not surprised.
And he showed me the fucking the trailer for it, and it was like in the late '90s when he did this, early 2000s or whatever. Never seen the light of day, but
no, he's great. Christian, I really love that band.
Oh God! I just cracked another one as well. Rob Z, I think Gerry Finn is an imposter.
Yeah, at times I am.
Here, let's do this. Let's take a short break. And we'll come back. We'll talk about the golf tournament, and then and we'll talk more dwarfs and questions and answers and comments and kind of all that kind of good shit. First half of the show, and when you get out here, you're gonna have to try this goddamn amp. Brought to you by Beater Amplification, ladies and gentlemen. BEETER, BeaterAmplification.com. They are 3 channels of 100 watts of hand-built testicular fortitude. You get your old school Metallica tone, your old school AC/DC tone, and your old school clean-ass Fender tone. Pull 2 tubes, you got yourself a 50. These things are fucking amazing. Small boutique company, hand-wired, hand-built, made the way that you want it and the way that you need it. It's Beater Amplification. That's 2 E's. BEETER, BeaterAmplification.com. We'll be right back with more from Gerry Dwarf, Gerry Finn, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is another fucking podcast. Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level with their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's Rockwood
Retro
Saloon.
Arcade brings Minnesota and surrounding areas arcade games from the days gone by. All of those great games from pizza joints and arcades are available in cocktail units and custom machines. Dozens of favorites from your youth in one machine to complete your game room or man cave. Retro Arcade also sells and services your favorite pinball machines. Find them at facebook.com/80arcade. That's facebook.com/80arcade. Retro Arcade. Your youth is just one click away.
If you need to promote your band or business, or just want to stylize, personalize, or customize your ride, check out vid-decals.com. Want to create and customize your own stickers representing your band, or make your own bumper sticker? Vid Decals can do it. All stickers are printed on quality vinyl and can be placed on any flat surface. Stickers are an affordable way to promote your band or business. Go to vid-decals.com to get started. That's vid-decals.com. vid-decals.com.
Hey, what's going on? This is Tom Arnold. I like fat women and cocaine. And you're listening to Izzy Presley here on another fucking podcast. And I know Izzy from Cocaine Anonymous meetings. I've actually seen him at the meetings with Ace Von Johnson from, I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but Ace has got a bad coke problem. And his sponsor is Josh Todd from, and again, I shouldn't say this out loud, but Josh is his sponsor for Buck Cherry. He's addicted to upskirt porn. And they're both being sponsored by the Eagles. The whole band, the Eagles. Anyways, another fucking podcast right here with Izzy Presley, and call your sponsor. Fucking A.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Arnold. As done by Craig Gass. We are back with Gerry Dwarf from the Killer Dwarfs. Second half of the show brought to you by John Palumbo Design. We love us some John Palumbo here at Another Effing Podcast. He is an amazing, talented guy. If you need something designed, a brand new logo for your band, your business, TV show, whatever, hit him up, johnpalumbodesign.com. He can even do your website. He can do some web design for you and all that kind of good stuff. So hit up John Palumbo Design and hit up A&P Laser, everybody. APLaser.com. Laser engraving. These guys are so good they can even laser engrave a fucking hot dog bun. I have seen it done. This is how good these guys are. Need something special for your mom? Mother's Day is coming up. Hit up APLaser.com. Have something special and personal done for them from APLaser.com. There we go. Gerry Dwarf. Jacobus has a question. And he's not asking what kind of lube he should use. He's wondering what your favorite guitar is to play.
That's a great question. It depends on the application, so I tend to play Les Pauls with the Dwarfs. It's a one guitar band, so you need a really big, overblown guitar sound. And I find Les Paul is the only guitar that will really do that, So I have a Peter Frampton custom that I love. Yeah, I know. I just picked up a guitar in Newfoundland, Rhymes to Understand, made by a guy named Mike O'Reilly. And Mike O'Reilly builds these incredible, Fender-type guitars. And so it's a Telecaster-style guitar. And it's might be the most comfortable guitar I've ever played. O'Reilly guitars, so you can find them, Mike O'Reilly.
More comfortable than my Kotzen Telecaster?
You know what? It's really interesting, Izzy. I'd like to compare them. It's different. It's got the neck. It's a bit different. It's got a humbucker in the bridge, in the neck position rather. And the only thing about it is it sort of it came with that weathered. The finish is worn look.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to paint all that up and fix that. but other than that, yeah. So and for an acoustic guitar, like I have a Gibson Hummingbird that I really love. It depends really on what I'm playing.
It's funny. All the weathered, old vintage looking guitars. It's part of it's kind of like, it's kind of cool, but the other part of me is like, I'd rather do that myself over the years. Make every nick and scratch and all of that, your own and make it personal. You know what I mean?
I do. I mean, I have a Les Paul Standard that I've used for decades. And it's, there's really not much wear on it. And I played it thousands of times. Like to have one of those guitars that's so worn out looking that people are selling, I think you would have to play it for 1,000 years.
Yeah, right.
Guitars don't wear out that way, right? So.
Well, I think, for people that are, they're gigging every night and using that same guitar and they wear the wristbands and they got the belt buckle and all that shit,
The jewelry will do it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but, that's character. But it's character that you put into that guitar.
I agree.
Let's see. Scotty's. Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think there are any bad guitar sounds. It's just, they're just poor applications. of guitar sounds.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, but I also think it's all in the hands, and
That's no question. Yeah.
that it's, I could get up on Eddie Van Halen's rig and it's going to sound like me playing Eddie Van Halen's rig. It's not going to sound like Eddie Van Halen.
And he'll sound like him on your rig.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, shit. Let's see. Jenna wants to know, can Gerry teach me to play?
Sure.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
When she's in the country,
As I said, it's like the mandolin. I always say yes, and then I try to figure out how to do it. I'm not sure what she's talking about even.
Scotty Strickland checking in from Canada. He just saw the Bisto Blanco people for a couple nights. Got
nice.
to meet them and stuff. Rob Z. I think I can smell that burp all the way in Toronto, Izzy. Well, what can you say? Ward is here. Oh, shit. Ward is here.
Panama Jack?
Jack is here. And April says it's all the hands. It's all the hands applies to many things. Okay.
It's true. Yeah. Sculpturing. There's all kinds of things.
Fingering beans, flicking beans, whatever.
Tuning your piano.
You were telling me about this on the boat. With your Les Paul, you got this thing on there that it keeps it in tune. It stops that G string from going out of tune. Please inform me about this, because this is very, very important.
It's a simple fix that people are doing. Like I thought, a friend of mine turned me on this. Is there a way to monetize this? But there's not. Not with any, unless you're completely, without scruples. It's just a string tree that's upside down that redirects the G and D string. This is guitar geek talk, right? For those of you out there who aren't guitar geeks, I apologize. But, the G and the D string come down at a really sharp angle into the nut. So this thing, you just screw it into the top screw of the truss rod cover.
Okay.
And it redirects the string. I'll show you next time I see you. And it really changes the biggest problem with every Les Paul, in my experience, is the G string goes out of tune. So you're always sort of tugging on it, trying to make it work. And, that goes away. It's brilliant.
Oh, my God. We got questions rolling in right now. Ward wants to know, what's the correct direction to spin a beer?
That would be away from you.
Aha.
No, you know what? Hang on. No, it's towards you. Towards you. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Jacobus, we kind of covered that already. When did you first know you wanted to be a guitarist and not a bassist or lead singer? Okay, that's a good question. Why guitar?
That's a good question. I really don't have the answer. I was asked this recently. I was drawn to just anything with strings. It's a compulsion to do it. It's so strange, right? I played a ukulele at first. When I finally get my hands on a student guitar, I'm like, I think this is it. It's funny. I wasn't chasing after anybody. It was just something I felt like I needed to do. I mean, that sounds really flaky, and of course, my memory is, also probably a bit fragmented at this point. But that's my memory of it. And then, of course, I put my Ace Frehley obsession.
There you go. There's the correct answer. Correct answer is Ace Frehley. Always the correct answer is.
I think so.
I wanted to be Ace Frehley. There you go. Oh, Amber said, who's your favorite Canadian artist or band? It's a good question.
Who's a great band that I love is Big Wreck. Big Wreck are a band that they have this record is just out, and the drummer is a great friend of mine, also from Newfoundland, another fine Newfoundlander, Chuck Keeping. But Big Wreck is a band I love from Canada. I love. I get to play occasionally with Burton Cummings, right, who is an icon up here and around the world, from the Guess Who, the singer from the Guess Who. And, I have to acknowledge him as a part of the Canadian, artist that I love. He really is. To get to play These Eyes or American Woman next to the guy on stage that wrote it is it's an incredible space to find yourself in.
Why do not all, but most Canadian rock bands sound like Rush?
I got to play a gig with Alex Lifeson, and I'll ask him next time I see him.
There's like I'm listening to that Live Dwarfs record. There's points where Russ sounds like fucking what's his lips? And it's like, oh no, Geddy Lee, no, stop. I don't like the voice.
Well, we all love Rush. And when I say I played a gig with Alex Lifeson, it wasn't we were on the same bill, but we were his band, right? So I got to play Rush songs with him on stage, and Russ Dwarf was the singer. And we did a day of rehearsals. The second day, we showed up, and we were also playing a set of songs with Tom Cochran. You might know "Life's a Highway."
Yeah.
And Al, right, comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, Jer," right? He called me Jer. I almost cried. Right? He goes, "Can you show me those Cochran tunes?" And I go, "Yeah, of course." And then I realized, like, I'm giving Alex Lifeson a guitar lesson, right? And my 14-year-old inner self is, just fucking doing cartwheels.
Right. Scotty says Newfies rule.
He's right.
Let's talk about the golf tournament. This is how many years are we into the golf tournament?
This is the 5th annual golf tournament.
5th annual. Okay, so this is my second one.
Yes, because so it's for the listeners. Izzy came up last year and is coming up this year to host. Yeah. Along
with my arch nemesis and good friend Nikki Black.
I love Nikki Black. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. Let's talk about the charity. What's the charity all about? How did you guys find the charity?
Yeah, so there's an organization called Feed the Need Durham. And so this is based in the town where the band was formed, which is Oshawa, which is just east of Toronto. And so it seemed appropriate that would be where we were to give back. And we basically raise money and give it to this food bank. And it's incredible, Izzy. Like I think they have 50 employees or so, I can't but they're all volunteers with the exception of maybe 2 who are salaried. And one of the salaried, the manager or whatever of the organization will come out and talk about where this food goes and the percentage of how much of the food goes to children. I mean, it's really like a moving, powerful part of the golf tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So, we feel, we're very fortunate that we can contribute like that. And I think also, it might illustrate how easy it is for anybody to be charitable, to contribute like that. It really doesn't take much to make a difference. And, we've raised, I think, over like $20,000 in the last 4 years, and that does make a difference. So, our goal this year is to raise $10,000.
Right. Was last year the highest earning one?
Yeah, it keeps getting higher every year.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take credit for that. Being my first year, it's like, Presley's going to be there. The amount is just going to go up and up and up. It's worth it to fly Izzy out there. You know what I'm saying?
It is, and that's why we're bringing Nikki up to push it over the top.
Oh, yeah.
Nikki Black.
Black. Yeah. Jenna says, Izzy and Nikki sitting in a tree. F-U-C-K. Wait, what? No, that's not what it says.
What?
Just says Izzy and Nikki. Ward says, can't wait for August. Rob Z says, 20 grand. Is that Canadian or American?
That's Canadian.
Canadian. There, of course it is. Jeff says, thank you, Dwarfs, for doing that. It does make a difference. And,
it really does. Yeah, it's so easy to make a difference.
Jackie Skinner says that you have amazing golf shoes.
So Jackie Skinner is a great friend of mine who's been on the cruise and is a friend of many cruisers, certainly April's close friend now. And Jackie is also an incredible musician that I get to work with. So love you, Jack. Glad you're listening. I do.
Rob says Nikki is way hotter than Izzy. Just saying. I disagree. I have mirrors. I've seen me. I am the best looking man in broadcasting, bar none. And that's just all there is to it.
I can't disagree with that. Although,
right.
I do have to say this. A few years ago, Luke Carl came up and hosted the golf tournament.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good looking dude.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a good looking dude. He's just on the show a couple weeks ago.
Oh, was he really? Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I love Luke,
Yeah, I love him too. Got a great story about CJ Snare out of him, and had CJ to tell. And of course, the week after was CJ, so we got CJ to tell the story as well. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love Luke.
How is your golf game, sir? I didn't get to play with you last year. I played with played with Robbo and Ward and Jenna.
Yeah, my golf game's not that great. But I like a good hang, and if I can walk around a golf course and you might see a deer, depending on where the golf course is, I think that's a good day.
Yeah, absolutely.
My golf game's not good. My golf game is as bad. My father's a terrible guitar player, and he's a really good golfer. If I could put it in perspective, he calls them chords. That's how poorly he plays guitar. And
chords.
If you could reverse that, that's kind of how my golf. The way I describe the golf tournament is that it's like Spinal Tap meets Caddyshack.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. Absolutely see that.
I think somebody said it was the first time they've actually seen a bong on a golf course. So I don't approve, but I'm just saying it was there.
Right. Jenna says Rob is a weird Jenna Nikki fantasy. No, I think Rob is a weird Izzy Nikki fantasy. Right. That's why we're both going to be up there. So, yeah. And Ward says, I'll finish that golf course one of these days.
Oh, I love Ward. Ward Cure, man.
Ward Cure. What is
an important part of our team?
What is what's on deck for the Dwarfs after the golf tournament? You guys going to be working on a new record? You guys, I heard stories about maybe a documentary or something like that. Get us up here.
Well, we just had a great weekend. We just went back to my home planet of Newfoundland and played for the first time. That was a really big event for me. I've been in the band now for 30 years, and the band has never played in Newfoundland. So we went home. We went to my parents' place for dinner. It was amazing, and got to play, in front of my hometown. And then we came back to Ontario and did a couple of shows. So we're busy. We've got a lot of shows coming up. We're looking at a fairly extensive tour in the fall. There's talk of all kinds of things. So, more playing. And there is talk, yes. So we're going to do a new record also. We did a live record last year. No Guff. And so we're going to do a record of new material this year.
Rob says, documentary is still a secret. Don't tell anyone yet, please, even though they've talked...
A bit late for that.
A bit late for that. It's been mentioned twice on this show in the past year by members of the Killer Dwarfs. So, and now 3 times. So what can I say? Oh, Scotty says Scotty has to get in the road. Can't text and fly, but he just wants to say the Dwarfs rule.
There you go. Scotty
yes. Rules. And Ward says you guys need to play Mental Ward someday.
Yeah, we want to go to Ward's house in Phoenix.
Absolutely. Are you guys going to be coming through California? You going to finally get that whiskey date?
Yeah, I think there's talk of that coming up. Yeah, I'll let you know for sure. I think it might be tentative, or at least not announced yet. But
okay, so we won't.
It's imminent.
Imminent. So we won't give the date away on the air because that would be wrong. All right. Any closing words? Anything you want to say to anybody? How can people find you? Social media, kind of all that good shit.
I'm easy to find. Dwarfs, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. We're all connected. And what I would like to say, Izzy, is that, your contribution to the golf tournament, we really appreciate. And so I just want to acknowledge you, because you're just a kind-hearted, sweet dude outside of all of the burping and beer cans opening. And, I hate to expose you to your audience as that guy. But anyway, we're really grateful that we have you as part of our team.
Well, dude, it's an honor. And the fact that I'm friends with you guys is still weird. That far. Yeah, okay. Let's not get ahead of ourselves yet. Gerry, just hold on the line. I'm going to say the goodbyes, and then we'll say goodbye off the air, all right?
Great.
All right, Gerry Dwarf, everybody. And Jenna says, just message me. I'll tell you all the secrets. I can just text people. What can I say? Gerry Dwarf. All right, let me hit the outro music. Kiss Black Diamond. And I'm actually going to put this up so you can hear it because it's a great version. Make sure you do hit up all the social media. I do not know who the guest is going to be next week, but it's probably going double through the speakers, so I can't do that. But, I don't know who the guest will be next week. I'm not sure. I'm working on it. Izzy Presley show on Thursday, going to be doing my Kiss Non-Makeup album countdown, including all of the greatest hits and live records. What else do we got? Monsters of Rock Cruise. Yes. As we know, emails have been going out. Bands have been announced. Most of the bands have been announced. I think, I don't know any of the details about, like, buying stuff, so I'm not going to speculate on that. Just hit up monstersofrockcruise.com if you are a alumni. If you have not been on the Monsters of Rock Cruise, just hit it up and sign up, and then wait patiently for your chance to get on the boat. And what else do we got? Oh, yeah. Next week, hey, we'll be right back here. Same bat time, same bat channel. My name is Izzy Presley. Don't forget, what I lack in talent, I do make up for in cock. It is another fucking podcast.